movements, nations who also have their independence on the 4th of July in their respective areas and locales. In the Nation of Islam, we've learned of this teaching and this truth from God in person, and it's been introduced to us as an Independence Day, making his appearance known on July 4th, 1930. We are in the 95th year of the existence of the Nation of Islam, and I'm encouraging you all to go and get your copy of the latest Final Call newspaper that celebrates this fact. Now, we're going to have announcements and all that good stuff, and you want to stick around for those. But I want to bring to your attention our guest for this morning. I'm very excited, very happy that he is here and in attendance. This is Dr. J.A. Salaam. His latest book, Igniting the Leader Within, Unleash Your Divine Power, Lead from Within. Igniting the Leader Within is the book. I received a copy of it while I was with him in Chicago earlier in June, and he broadsided me. He blindsided me with the book. I didn't know it was in the works. I didn't know it was already out in distribution. I've always known of his brilliance and his expertise, but when I tell you what he put together after a 19-year trek, he told me, of since from producing or founding this formula. Let me just share with you. Dr. J. Salaam is a transformational leader, visionary thinker, and a modern day Renaissance man. With over 35 years of experience in marketing, branding, and public relations, his journey has evolved from firefighter to journalist, from strategist to spiritual guide. He holds an honorary doctorate in marketing and advertising and blends ancient wisdom with modern insight to awaken the leader within each of us. An alumnus of the prestigious CORO rather, leadership training program, Dr. Salaam brings a unique perspective shaped by rigorous civic leadership development and a deep commitment to community empowerment. Dr. Salaam also has an extensive background in the health and wealth industry. As the former host of It's About You Health Talk Radio show, he has educated and inspired audiences in topics ranging from holistic healing to preventive care, bridging the gap between traditional knowledge and modern wellness practices. A certified pranic healer, he understands the subtle flow of energy and how it shapes our physical, emotional, and spiritual reality. Through his teachings, he empowers others to tap into their divine essence. Now, this is key, folks. To tap into their divine essence, break free from external validation, and consciously manifest a life of purpose, alignment, and impact. He's also a tremendous contributor to that news organ I mentioned just a moment ago, the Final Call newspaper, and he served as the pivot, the catalyst to the coverage of the Michael Brown, what I call the assassination, Mike Brown in uh, Ferguson, Missouri, and his coverage and his presence and putting eyes and ears on the ground to allow us to read and exact what was happening there. No one did it better. He's known for his vivid metaphors and relatable storytelling. Dr. Salaam doesn't just teach transformation, he lives it. His motto, life as you now know it won't be the same. It's not just a statement, it's a promise. Ladies and gentlemen, friends, visitors, and guests, please unmute your mics and welcome Dr. J.A. Salaam to the platform. Welcome, Dr. Salaam.
Welcome, Dr. J. Salaam.
Welcome,
Welcome,
Dr.
Dr.
Salam.
Thank you.
Good morning, Dr. Salaam.
Good morning.
Welcome.
Grand
Well,
Rising.
Grand Rising. How's everyone this morning?
We rich.
And living in our mansion.
Mansion. Go ahead, Sister Unity.
That's
So,
right. Visualizing it all. That's right. Am I on, brother? Can you see me?
yes, sir. We can see you. and
Oh,
we
I
can hear
can.
you loud and clear.
Okay, very good. Well,
What?
first
What?
off,
Go ahead, brother.
no, go ahead.
No, I was just expressing once again my excitement of your being here, of the work that you've put in and committed to your communities, to the world. You know, now he doesn't look the 35 years plus he cites in his experience, but I'm here to tell you, this brother is like he's like the spiritual energizer bunny. You know, nothing shakes his tree. He keeps it moving and going, and he always looks for the higher road in everything that we face, everything that we're challenged with. He's a family man. He's a loving son to a magnificent mom. You know, but anyway, welcome, brother, and let's get right into it.
Okay,
You
yes.
have produced this work. Talk to us about it.
Well, first off, brother, first off, in the name of Allah, the Beneficent, Merciful, I bear witness there is no God but Allah, and I bear witness that Muhammad is his messenger. I greet you in the greeting words of peace. Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum salam.
It is truly my pleasure and my honor, and I'm very humbled to be here. This is my first official interview, and so it really means a lot. It took approximately 19 years. It started off as a project, whereas I did a CD, and it was called Igniting the Leader Within, It's Your Choice. And that was in 2006. Well, since that time, many things have evolved. And the purpose of the book is to bring to everyone's table an opportunity to read and understand why you are born. Most people have no clue of why they are born. You don't know why you're here. And we're following the ways of society. We're following the ways of social media. We're following the ways of our parents, our teachers, the leaders on the outside of us. But we have not tapped into the genius or the God, a unique presence of divine within ourselves. And so, what I wanted to do through the guidance of God, that's why it took 19 years, because I could not just do this on my own. I needed guidance myself. And I had to go through a process of transformation to know that it is possible. And so here we are today. We're living in a world of a lot of confusion. We're living in a world of chaos. We're living in a world of death. People are not living anymore. Yes, you might feel that you are alive, but you don't have a state of existence, a real meaning to your life. You are going every day on autopilot with no real direction. You think you're really moving and you're doing well. But when you dig deep, deep, deep inside of yourself, and you'll realize that you are a copy of someone else.
Mm.
You don't know who you are. And my mission, my passion, my desire is to fulfill the very thing that the God that came to us came to teach us, and that is the knowledge of ourselves. If you don't know who you are, you're just a copy of someone else. You're echoing the ways of someone else. You're walking, your facial expressions are that of someone else. And it's not your fault, it's just that you don't know who you are. And when you find out who you are in the line and in the light of divine, you become a god, a goddess, and you can change the conditions of your life, your family's life, your community's life, your city's life, your country's life, and eventually the world. So the purpose of igniting the leader within and harnessing your divine power to create the life you desire is needed more now than ever before. And so it is my honor to be here and to speak with you and to answer questions. There are many of you don't have the book, but our dear brother Eric Torrey does. And so he might have found some things that he wants to ask. But generally wise, there's not a question you can ask me by the help of Allah that I might not be able to answer, because it's not me answering it anyway. It's truly divine inspiration.
Well, we thank you for that, brother. Folks, I know it's difficult to see it all from here, but when I arrived with brother in Chicago, he blessed me with an autographed copy of the book, as well as the accompanying workbook that goes with it for each chapter associated with this treatise. Now, let me start here, Dr. Salaam. When we speak to that leader within and igniting it, how do you believe the work that you produce taps into that for people? And by the way, folks, if you just go to the chat, you'll see Dr. Salaam Academy, DSA, drsalaamacademy.com, where you can also order the book and become a member of his page for additional insights and depths. So that's my question to you, Dr. Salaam.
The question you asked is, how do you intend on doing that?
No, sir. How do you tap into that leader within? You know, how do you find them? How do you subsequently ignite?
Yes, sir. Well, the first thing that you have to do, you have to come in agreement with that question that I asked. Why am I born? You ask that question. Why am I here? What purpose do I serve? I give you an acronym that they can write down. And the acronym is purpose. Because when you have purpose, you can begin to understand your reasoning for being. Purpose is when people understand real principles of spiritual enlightenment. I say it again. When people understand real principles of spiritual enlightenment, that's purpose. How do you get in touch with your purpose? It starts with your passion. Your passion is a fire that's burning inside of you. Have you ever had a conversation with someone, and this is for everyone to think about. Have you ever had a conversation with someone and there's a subject that comes up that sets you on fire? You start talking, you come alive. You really get engaged with that subject matter. That's your passion. You're tapping into something when you feel that enthusiasm. And enthusiasm, entheos, is within. Enthu. Theos is God. Enthusiasm is your divine passion, your divine self coming alive from the inside. People have looked for God since the beginning of time and has never found God. because they have been looking in the wrong place. But when you can tap into that burning fire, that passion is inside of you, it will connect you to your purpose.
Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. What has been some of your feedback from those who you exposed the book to, those peers of you that you might have looked for uh, uh, guidance or feedback from upon its conception? What has been some of the most,
Hmm.
maybe not so much the most, but some of the things that have really moved you to show you that you were on the right road with this 19-year plus project?
Good question. Well, one person in particular, I mean, there have been several since you asked that question, but there's been several people, but it's one person in particular. He's, I think about a 77-year-old gentleman. And I was very honored that he read the book. He was one of the first ones to read it before it came out. And he said to me after he read the book, he said, "Brother, I just finished reading this book that a football player was reading on the sideline during the playoffs. And the cameraman zoomed into him and they wanted to know why in between plays he would go to the sideline and read this book." Well, that book became a New York bestseller. He said, "I just finished it." He said, "But Dr. Salaam, when I have read your book, this book is for the next level. This book caused me to think differently and to think deeper than even the book that I just told you I read." He
Hmm.
said, "This book has changed me in a way, brother. I'm reflecting back all the way to my childhood after reading your book." He said, "You put something here that people are going to be blessed with." He said, "I've been reading books like this for almost 50 years of my life, 5 decades, and I've never read a book like this." That was humbling.
Wow.
That was
Wow.
humbling.
Wow. Truthfully, you know, and folks, let me just give you some elements, if you will, of the book. I showed you the book itself, and I showed you the workbook that it accompanies it, but there's also another unique experience here. He provides a bookmark with your book. I mean, it's tremendously wrapped and gifted. When you get your book, no gift mark is the same. No bookmark, rather, is the same. They're all unique to itself. And mine, awaken, align, act. The universe responds. That that was big. That was big for me. Now, and it resonated with me. Okay, there's a particular chapter that um, stood out for me today in the book, chapter 11, Harnessing Passion as the Catalyst for Purpose. You opened up with that ideal, uh, Dr. Salam, as well as gave us the acronym for purpose, which is also in the chat, folks. And we opened up talking about passion is more than emotion, it's energy, direction, and divine guidance. Okay. And he uncovers things in the passage that helps us to align with it as a gift. You know, um, he talked about when passion is the fuel, it ignites purpose. And you gave a very good description or depiction of what that feels like. I mean, you verbally painted a picture for me to be able to recognize it. But it's not just here that he lays it out so well when it speaks to the divine purpose. And then when you go to the workbook, now, folks, the workbook is associated with each chapter, right? And uh, it themes out as well as gives additional models just through literally just through utilizing the topic or rather or the title of the chapter as the subject matter. But I want to go to the workbook because in the workbook It's beautifully laid out and it's clean. You can make your notes, and your notes are yours. You know, well, what do you think about it? It ain't none of your business. These are my notes. Stop. Dr. Salam, and then we're going to open the floor for people. You know, he shared in this workbook. There was 5 questions, right? But this is the one that stuck me, or
Number
two
4.
actually. It was questions 3 and 4, and
Uh-huh.
it really uh, served as a mirror for me. See, I always ask daily, folks. I ask about my businesses and different enterprises that I have as the wealth minister. And before I close eyes on a night, 2 things I do. I always close the night with gratefulness. I'm always citing and noting to the God what I'm grateful for. Sometimes it's 3, 4, 5 things. Sometimes it's 10, 20 things. Sometimes it's one thing. But each day I come with that. But the other thing I do, I look right into that very same mirror and I'll ask myself, if everybody did for their business what I did for my business, what would my business look like? Because we're all connected. The book makes it really clear about our connection, our spiritual dot connecting here, right? And so here's what happened in question 3 and 4 of that chapter 11, right? He says, what does living within divine purpose mean to you personally? Now, why that was such a trigger for me, introspect, is because when you're servants, you're always focusing on those and things outside of yourself. We never really give introspective value. We never position ourselves, generally speaking, to lean on the evaluated experience. What have we experienced out of the journey that can be better in our next steps? So when he asked that question, it really woke me up to understanding that, you know, that denial of self is deep, because you really don't see yourself in the way that can benefit you possibly, because we don't focus on ourselves as much. And I'm not saying that we should be as selfish, but we can't negate the fact that we are very unique beings. Everybody's created with a sense of purpose. And then number 4, have you ever ignored a passion that kept resurfacing? Oh boy, you know, what might that passion be trying to show you? What might that passion be trying to show you? What's it trying to show you? You know, there's so much value and volume in this book for you to embrace, folks. I don't want anyone to lose sight of it. I want you to go to drsalaamacademy.com and take a look. And in future talks, because we know that he has another engagement he'll be traveling to soon. In future talks, uh, Dr. Salaam can be here, and it could be one of those Ask Dr. Salaam segments, Ask Me Anything segments. I'm telling you, folks, it's worth its weight in gold. So I'm looking to the chat, and while I look to the chat, if there anyone that like to add or ask a question, uh, I see Sister Tahira's question as to the acronym of purpose, and it was given to her replaced by Sister Desiree. Thank you, Sister Desiree. Dr. Salam, did you want to say something before we went to the floor? Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. I want to say on purpose. Remember this, you heard in scripture where it says that a name is worth more than gold, right?
Yes.
It has that value. It's very powerful. And your name, what you call yourself, is so important. And we've been called by many names by many people, and they keep changing the identity or the name of ourselves, and we want to identify ourselves in different ways.
Mm-hmm.
Your name is connected to the purpose of a thing. A chair, it has a purpose. It's called a chair, but it has a purpose. What is the purpose of a chair? To sit in, right?
Mm-hmm.
A butter knife is called a butter knife because its purpose is to cut butter. A stern wheel is called a stern wheel because its purpose is to steer the vehicle that you're in. Glasses are called, you got my point. What happens when you don't have a ladder to get to the top shelf and there's a chair right there? You stand on the chair. That's outside of the chair's purpose, though. And when you use something outside of its purpose, you are abusing it.
Wow.
When you don't have a screwdriver and there's a butter knife there, you use the butter knife to unscrew the screw. That's outside of its purpose. You are abusing the knife when you do that. Are you following me?
Absolutely.
So your name, who you are, tells people who you are, but when you are operating in your purpose, you are doing what you was called and created to do. But when you act outside of your purpose or outside of yourself, you are abusing yourself. You are misusing yourself. I'll let that resonate with you.
Yeah, you definitely got it marinating in my pot. Okay, folks, it's time to unmute their mics and ask your question or make your statement. And of course, you can simply just raise your hand. But I see Sister Tahira first up. Go ahead, Sister Tahira.
Oh my God, assalamu alaikum. Greetings, brother Salaam. Oh my goodness. You have put a lot, of thought-provoking ideas and thoughts in my mind. Thank you so much. And my question is there by any chance a digital copy of your book and workbook? I have some challenges which make it difficult for me to hold and read a book. I love reading, so I do Audible and those kind of things. But I was just wondering, is there a digital version of your book and workbook?
Yes, ma'am. There's an audio book that is available as well. However, I'm going to have, since you asked that question, I'm going to have the workbook. It's going to be somewhat difficult because you have to write in it. The workbook comes with the book. And maybe we can do something, not maybe, we can make the workbook available. It's just that you would have to still write it down somewhere. You have to ask the question. And here's the thing, dear sister. The book is about you.
Alhamdulillah. Okay.
The book is about you. It's not my book. This book was written for you.
Yes.
It's designed for you to find your divine self.
I love it.
Again, it's designed for you to find your divine self.
Yes, sir.
So it is an audio, and we would, if that will work, I don't know how that will work with having the workbook on audio, because if you buy the audio book, then we suggest that you get the physical workbook to work with it. And the audio book is unique because you can take each chapter and listen to it over and over again and go to the next chapter or pick the chapter. And so it's pretty unique. Thank you. Yes, ma'am. Thank you for asking.
Thank you so much.
Yes, ma'am.
Great question. Great question. Any other hands, questions, comments, statements as brother prepares for his travel day? Floor is open.
Wow. Mind blowing. I'm telling you, I'm definitely getting that book. It's Sister Unity here. Because I've done those things like needed a ladder, but I grabbed a chair. Needed a Phillips screwdriver, but I grabbed that butter knife. I've done those things. And I'm still in discovery of who I am and my purpose. And when you talk about name, and I didn't want to just like be out there as my name. So I renamed myself and I called myself Sister Unity. And when I go on different Zooms, for some reason, people see that and and this is before I even put the 2 red shoes next to my name. And people's like, Sister Unity, oh, I like that name. Who are you? And I just get picked because of the name change. I'm like, wow. So I'm doing everything it takes to, like, what is my purpose? And like, okay, I call myself Sister Unity now. Now, what am I doing with that? I'm uniting people with programs and platforms that makes a difference, that makes their life better, that makes them wealthier. Now I'm going to start doing like more videos of me talking about whatever it is I'm doing. I says, I gotta do that now. So when and I'm gonna do it after I read your book, sir. Thank you. Stay blessed and continue doing what you're doing. Loving it.
Yes, ma'am. Praise be to Allah. You're going to do
Wonderful,
very
wonderful.
well. You're going to do very well. People will become very acquainted with you, and they will want that same spirit of unity in their lives. Trust me, it's going to make a difference in the world. There's a transformation is the foundation of this book. This book is from transformative. And so those who, and thank you, yeah, those who become a part of DSA, you are considered a transformer because that's your job, that's your duty, that's your purpose, is
Wow.
to guide people from darkness into light. That's your
Yes.
job, that's your duty, that's your purpose.
Yes.
Beautiful share. Thank
Thank
you.
you for being here. Thank you.
Sister Dorcas Clark, also known as 10 feet tall and bulletproof. You have the floor, ma'am.
Grand Rising, Brother Eric. Thank you so much for this opportunity.
Yes, ma'am.
Did we lose you, Sister Dorcas?
Sorry. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Again, I thank you. My question was already answered. It was already stated. But just to continue on, now the workbook is not available in audio.
Not at the moment. We're going to have to get that done because that was the first time it was asked. And so because it was asked, then that means there's a need. And if there's a need, then it must be fulfilled.
So
Okay.
we'll keep everybody abreast. But let's make sure to get the information that's in the chat and get a hold of the audio book. Brother Neville, also known as Crypto Assets, Brother Neville Easley, my partner and friend. You have the floor. Great morning to you, sir.
Great morning, Brother Eric, and great morning to you, Dr. Salaam. Blessings. I just want to say thank you for providing what we always call a tool for the mind. And as a saying, I say leaders are readers and leaders are achievers. So I'll be happy to put your book in my arsenal to expand my mind because I'm always having thoughts and creativity. And when we channel what you're providing, the product, there's no limits to our growth. Mentally and spiritually and beyond. So I want to thank you for what you're doing, sharing this valuable information this morning, and blessings to you on your travels. Thank you, Brother Eric, for partnering us up with another king.
Praise be to Allah. Thank you. Appreciate you,
Thank
brother.
you. Okay, Dr. Salaam, we're opening the floor for any closing comments on your end, any appeals to people, anything you want to leave us with in terms of marching orders.
Oh, I wasn't ready to leave. I still have another
You don't have
15
to.
minutes. I
You
have
don't have
about
to.
15 more minutes. I'm sure people are actually thinking right now of what questions to ask. What I would say, not as a closing remark, but just to add a little bit more into what we have discussed. The brother who just spoke a moment ago, he mentioned processes and creativity. And you'll find in the book, I teach you how to create. I actually teach you, show you the process of creation. Now, you might find that very strange to think, but I assure you, if you think, you can create. There's a book many years ago that was written and is still one of the top read books. It's called Think and Grow Rich. It's a very powerful book. It's written very well. But I can assure you, the millions and millions of people who've read the book, they're not rich. So what is it about just thinking? See, the scripture says that as a man thinketh in his heart, so shall he be. That's the key. As a man thinketh in his heart. What's the significance of his heart? What does the heart do? You'll find that in the book. I deal very heavily with the heart. What makes the heart beat? What keeps it beating? And what is the energy that's necessary for the heart to continue? And why is it important to have positive energies around you in your conversations, in your mind? Because when you're thinking something, you are imagining it. But it doesn't mean much if you don't feel what you imagine. There's no difference if you have a desire for a man or a woman, or you have a desire for a position, or you have a desire to have a nice car. If you have a desire, you got to put that in your mind, but you have to feel it, because what you feel is real. What you feel is real. What you feel is real. So if you're thinking something, all the affirmations that you may have, if you don't feel what you're saying, it's not real. You're faking yourself out because you're looking at your reality, or what in present, your 3D, what's in present, what's in front of you. But that's not it. That's only the first part of creation. It's the thought, the feeling. But there's something else you must do. I'm giving you all the 5 steps now, so I hope you're writing them down. The next thing you must do is write it down. You must write it down. That's the key. The connector is the key, and that is writing. You must write down what you thought about, what you felt in your heart. Write it down. And then speak it. Now, some say, well, you're supposed to speak it first. Says who? Who told you that? The people who are successful and don't want you to be successful? You don't talk before you have thought about it and felt about it and put it into your soul. Because if it's not in your soul, it's not going to manifest. So don't talk about things until you've written it down and thoroughly feel it in your heart. Then you can talk about it. Then you go to work and make it happen. Those are the 5 steps of creation. Trust me, you use them, you'll be successful. You will begin to see things manifested in your life that you only imagined. But in the book, I talk about where that imagination started, and I tell you how it ended, and I tell you how to get it back.
Now, folks, you put something else on my mind, Dr. Salaam, and it really sort of crystallized when you gave the analogy of the butter knife, the chair, the ladder, right, the steering wheel, the glasses. Okay, what came to mind in what you just said spoke to the fact that everything that is seen or manifested begins with an idea. It began with an idea. There's nothing in existence without it being the idea first, you know. And so those 5 elements that you cited just now, for me, again, honed in even more why it's important to ignite the leader within, because as the more we travel inwardly, the greater the connection or the ability to connect with the true essence of ourselves. Anyone else have anything you'd like to add or share from Dr. Salaam's words or messages? Any questions that you might have? Now, on the screen, I believe you can see it. You see the card of Igniting the Leader Within, and there's a QR code there. you can scan the QR code with your phone and go directly to drsalaamacademy.com. And just to give you some insight here, it says inside you'll explore the science of self-leadership, how to reprogram your subconscious mind, the MAP, M-A-P-P, motive, aim, purpose, plan, the formula for purpose-driven living, real stories, deep insights, and spiritual power. Plus, he elaborates on the exclusive workbook reflections, illustrations, and a 21-day challenge to activate real change in your life. Are you in a position to speak to the 21-day challenge, Dr. Salaam? Did we lose you, sir?
You was talking and you went blank, brother, and I didn't know what happened. I'm just sitting here waiting.
Okay. Uh, uh, the question I have on your flyer here speaks to the 21-day challenge to activate real change in your life. Would you be so kind to elaborate on that a little? Are you in position to?
Yes, sir, of course. Well, the 21-day challenge is at the end, actually at the end of the book. It's at the end of the workbook. When you go through, it's been said that it takes 21 days to to create a new habit or to get rid of an old one. But it's 21 days of consistent action that makes that happen. So what I did, I took chapter 6, and your book, you see chapter 6. What is the title of it? It deals with leadership. So we're talking about igniting the leader within, but who is that leader? It's going to become you, but there's some things you're going to have to do.
It froze on us, Dr. Salaam. Can you hear us? It froze on us. Dr. Salaam, can you hear us? Chapter 6 of the book speaks to master leadership, folks, and mastering leadership. And it gives you those things that must be done or needs to be accomplished. It looks like we lost them in connection. Let me go straight away to announcements so that we're clear on what we can expect. And we want to thank Dr. Salaam for his add-ons and his guidance with this work. Now, if you can see the screen, the QR code is there. We'll come back to it. I also want to make you aware of our perpetual income channel. We're encouraging everyone to screenshot that channel and subscribe, subscribe, subscribe. All right. Like and share. And then tonight is Friday. This is where we continue with this week's lead generation presentation with Brother Neville and yours truly. The first and third Thursday and Friday of each month at 7 p.m. Eastern on this platform, teambelieve.info. We come before you and we share. Just one moment, Dr. Salam, I'll see you back. And we share uh, uh, the lead generation presentation and training. And so it went extremely well last night in its inaugural. And we'll be back again tonight at 7 p.m. Eastern. That meeting ID and passcode is on the screen, but you're actually on the channel, teambelieve.info, the Believers Huddle. So, Dr. Salam, if you can hear us, you were elaborating on that chapter 6 and the strategy, and it cut off on when you looked at what we need to do, and it cut off at do.
that was a very good point to cut off.
Mhm.
The video is off, so you can hear me though, so that's fine. It says disabled. Yes. What you need to do, or what you should do, what I recommend that you do, is to be very intentional with what it is that you want to stop doing. Start with what you want to stop doing. And then work on what you need to do to become a better person. Because when you become a better person, people will follow you, i.e., you become a leader. Being the best example is the best leader. People want to be around people who are successful. As I think that was Eric Rohn a little while ago in the beginning, he was talking. Jim Rohn, yeah, Jim Rohn, yes, I know Eric Rohn, pardon me. Yeah, Jim Rohn, he talked about if you want to be wealthy, and you want to study that. You want to be this, you have to study that, study. So if you want to become better than you have been, then go through the process of answering questions about you. This book is about you. It's not about no one else. It's not whether your mother like it, your father, your sister, your brother, your cousin, your so-called best friend, your business associate. It doesn't matter. No one else know you better than you. And this 21 days will help you to identify closer to who you really are.
We thank you for that. We thank you for that. Sister Tony responds, this was a great segment. This falls in alignment with my sacred women rites of passage I am walking through right now. Thank you for that share, Sister Nicole. Again, purpose. People understand real principle of spiritual enlightenment. Thank you for that share, Sister Desiree. And folks, let's be intentional. Let's remain focused. Let's understand the power of what we have and take advantage of opportunity in the life of the opportunity. Now we move to closing comments. Over to you, Dr. Salaam.
Okay. First off, thank you, dear brother Eric Toure, and the brothers and sisters of the Believers Huddle. I would say this, as we are all believers, that is the foundational piece in order for you to build on. As a believer, that's your foundation. You must first believe. But once you have grown into knowledge and insight and realization or manifestation, and you start seeing that which you once just believed in, you become a witness. And so you want to grow into realization. You want to be able to let the world see your light. Let it shine. Live in purpose. Live on purpose. You have to push yourself to be better than you've been. When you receive your book, you're going to notice the process of opening it up. It's not a book you're just going to open up and, there it is. No. It's intentional to give you a process to open it, because the process of opening up who you are is not an easy task.
Go
So
ahead
you
and
have to
teach.
get with it. You have to get with it. You have to hold on and pull and dig down inside to find who you are. It's like mining a diamond. It's like mining gold. Anything of great value and worth is hidden. It's deep down inside. And you have to go down in there and find it. It's something came in my spirit, I have to say it. sisters, you're so valuable. You're so precious that now you understand why you are not supposed to be on display. You have to be hidden. You have to be covered in order for one to know that there's value in there. There's wealth in there. And if I, as a man, want your wealth, then I know I have to dig to get it. I can't just grab hold to it. It's hidden somewhere. If you go to a jewelry store or you go somewhere where there's gold, they have it in the vault. The most expensive stuff is hidden. So when you cover yourself, you are one that's manifested. You're showing that I have value, I'm worth something, and I'm not on display. So it is with your divine self. God is inside of you. You are a divine being. You are created in the essence of divine. Therefore, if he is the creator and you're of his creation, then you have the ability to create. So igniting the leader within and harnessing, grabbing hold to, bringing it close to you, lock into your divine power to create the life you desire is a must read for any and every one of all ages. I wrote the book in a way that even a 10-year-old can understand. I thank you, Brother Eric. I thank each and every one of you for giving me an opportunity to come before you and to share just a few words. And I'm very humbled for this opportunity. Thank you so much. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam. Folks, that will conclude the Believers Huddle for today. Unmute your mics, love on each other, thank Dr. Salaam, and get a hold of the book. Let's go, everyone.
Woo!
Thank you,
Thank
Brother
you,
Eric,
Dr.
for
Yeah.
the
Salaam. Thank you,
phenomenal
Brother
share.
Eric.
Thank you,
Wonderful.
Dr. Salam.
Wow.
Dr. Salam.
And
Thank you.
unity in
You
the
take care.
community.
Happy 4th of
Thank you,
July.
Brother
Happy
Eric,
4th.
and thank you,
Take care.
Mr. Salam.
Praise be to Allah. Independence. That's right. Independence.